The member for Kooyong.
Deputy Speaker, I rise to speak on the amendments before the House, and particularly the constraints placed on the ACCC by this government and the abuse of process and power that represents when it comes to the NBN. Not only is this government creating a $50 billion white elephant when you take into account the debt, the equity and the payments to Telstra, but this has morphed from a $4.7 billion original investment, and it's now been received comments from groups like the Economist Intelligence Unit, which compared it to the Korean National Broadband Initiative, when it said that in Australia we are getting 1/10 of the speed of Korea at 24 times the price. So why has this government, in the dead of night last week, introduced nearly 30 pages of complex amendments and not subjected to scrutiny? Why does it not have the courage to put its amendments before the House in a proper way? And why, when it comes to the ACCC and the issues that we're debating at the moment, why has it allowed the NBN company to have the benefit of a statutory authorisation to allow it to escape the proper scrutiny of the ACCC when it comes to the bundling of services, when it comes to cross-subsidisation, when it comes to uniform pricing? These are important matters, and the government's initiatives are going to reduce competition. And what is more, Senator Conroy should know better as the minister, because in March 2010 he went on Lateline, and these are his words. He said he was putting in place, quote, important regulatory protections for all Australians so that in the future, when the national broadband network is up and running, that it has some regulations. Powers for the ACCC to deal with the national broadband network, because there's no point in getting rid of one vertically integrated monopoly to create another unregulated monopoly. So now the minister is damned by his own words, because the amendments that he has sought to bring has actually reduced the influence and the authority of the ACCC. We should not expect anything different, Madam Deputy Speaker, from this government, because it has not subject the NBN to proper scrutiny. No parliamentary oversight from the Public Works Committee, even though it's the greatest public works initiative undertaken in Australia's history. Not subject to FOI, even though it was the Rudd government that went to the election. And promised to, quote, restore trust in integrity in the use of Commonwealth government information, promoting a pro-disclosure culture and protecting the public interest through genuine reform. It has not done that because it's exempting the FOI. It has not put it before the Infrastructure Australia. Infrastructure Australia is a body set up with specific expertise in the telecommunications sector, and it won't refer it to Infrastructure Australia. And I was with the Public Accounts and Audit Committee the other day, and we had the head of Infrastructure Australia, and he confirmed that was the case. It won't allow scrutiny from the Productivity Commission, even though it will allow the Greens request for the Productivity Commission to investigate the NBN prior to sale. But why won't it allow the Productivity Commission to use its expertise now? And why won't it release fully the business case that it had undertaken? It only released a couple of hundred of 400 pages, and it made the independent sign confidentiality agreements. Madam Deputy Speaker, in our alternative policy, and it's been said by the member for New England and others that we don't have an alternative policy. Yes, we do. We have an affordable, effective broadband alternative policy, one that is costed over the next 7 years at around $6 billion, one that uses the variety of technologies, wireless, satellite and fibre, one that actually leverages off the private sector and just doesn't create a new government monopoly, right? One that won't run away from the ACCC, the FOI, the Productivity Commission. Madam Deputy Speaker, we on this House proudly support privatisation. We on this House proudly support competition. We on this House proudly support an affordable broadband network. but we will not support this government's running away from proper scrutiny.